It's Patrick Hutzel here from IntensiveCareHotline.com with another quick tip for families in intensive care. So currently we are working with a client who has their 80-year-old mother in ICU after a stroke, and she now has a pneumonia. And cutting a long story short, the intensive care team in the beginning was pushy towards moving this lady to hospice and palliative care and saying to the family, well, if she does survive, she won't have any quality of life, and that it's quote unquote in her best interest to let nature take its course and let her die. Now the family obviously objected to that, saying, well, you know, that she's a strong-willed lady and that she has clearly indicated to the family that she wants to live no matter what. The family then reached out to us asking whether, you know, a tracheostomy, or asking what to do, and then we obviously suggested a tracheostomy might be the next step. We also then found out that she was already fairly close of having time off the ventilator, which is something the intensive care team didn't share with the family, you know, clearly misleading the family. And I'll tell you why they were misleading the family in a minute once I give you the full bigger picture. But what it comes down to here once again is, number one, ICU teams only tell families half of the story. Number two, the biggest challenge for families in intensive care is simply that they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what to look for. They don't know what questions to ask. They don't know their rights, and they don't know how to manage doctors and nurses in intensive care. So the next step was for the family to push for a tracheostomy, and tracheostomy was done. Within less than 7 days, this lady was off the ventilator, you know, and we were guiding the family through it step by step. You know, they were giving us the ventilator setting, and we're saying, yep, she's on the right track. She's passing the spontaneous breathing trials. And, you know, lo and behold, a week later, she was off the ventilator, and she has now been off the ventilator for 3 days, right? She now still has the tracheostomy. So you can clearly see that ICU teams are not being transparent, which is another reason why we keep saying over and over again, you need to get access to the medical records as quickly as possible so you can, you know, come to places like us and we can give you that second opinion. Without that second opinion, the family would have been lost and would have potentially signed off on the death of their mother, you know. So now what's next here? ICU is still pushing now, wanting to send this lady to LTAC, you know, and they want to have meetings about sending her to LTAC. And number one, ICUs can't discharge a patient against family consent or without family consent. You know, when you look at hospital and ICU discharge policies, clearly says that they can't discharge patients without their consent. Different, obviously, when it comes to general hospital discharges when patients go home if they're well enough, you know, but we're talking about ICU here. The next step for someone from ICU is usually going to a hospital floor or to a step-down ICU, HDU, you know, hospital ward, whatever the case may be. But the ICU here is trying to push for LTAC, and I say to the family, well, why would you push for LTAC? She's weaned off the ventilator in record time. Now, why can't she wean off the tracheostomy in record time, and then there's no need for LTAC? You know, LTACs in the US are designed supposedly for long-term ventilated or tracheostomy patients. Well, the reality is the minute patients go into LTAC, all hell breaks loose because ICU patients can't just go to LTACs where they employ LNPs or where they employ general RNs without ICU experience that have no experience in ventilation or tracheostomy weaning. There's only one doctor on site once a day for a few hours. You know, the nurse-to-patient ratio is 1:5, often 1:10 overnight. So, you know, it's just an absolute disaster area. So we advised the family, why would they meet with the hospital to talk about LTAC if the hospital should now focus on getting this lady decannulated, i.e. removal of the tracheostomy. You know, you have to make a choice as a family whether you want to live in the ICU's reality or whether you want to live in your reality, right? And I advise you to live in your reality, not in the hospital's reality. You know, their reality is, we want to send patients to LTAC as quickly as possible to save money, to free up a bed, to free staff. Your reality needs to be, I want the best outcome for my mum or for my family member. And clearly, you know, if this particular family, our client, wouldn't have reached out to us, their mother would probably be dead by now. So you have to get that second opinion right from the start before it's too late. Do not talk about LTAC, you know, just live in your reality, push your agenda, and get that second opinion, and we can guide you through those situations in ICU step by step we can almost predict what's going to happen next, and we can arm you with those crucial strategies so you get the outcomes that you want. You can make informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power and influence, and that's what it's all about. Now, that's my quick tip for today. If you have a loved one in intensive care, go to intensivecarehotline.com, call us on one of the numbers on the top of our website, or simply send us an email to support@intensivecarehotline.com with your questions. Also, have a look at our membership for families in intensive care at intensivecaresupport.org. There you have access to me and my team 24 hours a day in a membership area and via email, and we answer all questions intensive care related. Also, if you need a medical record review for your loved one in intensive care in real time, we provide that for you and for your family, give you that second opinion. We also review medical records after intensive care, but it's critical that you have access whilst your loved one is in intensive care, so we can interpret the clinical data in real time, so you don't have to believe everything the intensive care team is telling you or the information they're withholding from you, because quite frankly, that's what they do if you don't ask the right questions. Now, subscribe to my YouTube channel for regular updates for families in intensive care. Share the video with your friends and families, click the like button, click the notification bell, and comment below what you want to see next or what questions or comments you have from this video. Thanks for watching. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Take care.